Oh, you know what time it is. You know what time it is. Barbecue! Ow, ow! Let's go.
Pull up a chair, we're cutting through the smoke, talking with the people every pitmaster knows, from backyard heroes to the Hall of Fame. Everybody's welcome when they're earning their name.
Welcome back, barbecue fans. Here we are, another week, Wise Guys Barbecue Podcast. I'm Vin Picaro, that's Charlie Baldwin, and we have a pair of competitors here from Bourbon Blues and Barbecue. We got Colleen and JP. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you for having
Great
us.
having you.
Yeah, so we snatched them right off their travels. They're headed into Rhode Island State competition this weekend, a Matt Pereira CBA competition. So we wish you guys luck with that. Yeah, absolutely. Kick some butt. You know, we love it when, you know, there's some good competition up there this year, huh?
Heck yeah, man. That's the plan.
Yeah. And we grabbed a little lunch before we sat down, so we've been chit-chatting. And JP's been telling me the only way you can, you know, be the best is to beat the best. And you guys got some competition coming this weekend, huh?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
you know,
that's great.
it's never an easy day anytime Darren's showing up.
Yeah.
You know,
oh, yeah.
Bill Purvis, like these guys are serious, man. Like
absolutely. So let's start with you guys. Like when did you get started? Why did you get started? When did you know it was more than a hobby and you were gonna do this thing?
So I'll back it up real quick and take you back to 2010.
Okay.
My wife and I were dating at the time. She wasn't wife yet. I wasn't husband yet.
Okay.
And we went on a date to a barbecue festival in Annapolis, Maryland. We were living in D.C. and we went over to Annapolis to a barbecue festival, and it ended up being a barbecue competition, but we just didn't understand that we couldn't eat the barbecue.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
That's a problem with a lot of people.
Yeah,
it happens,
they're like,
right?
what do you mean I can't eat all
Can't
this
eat
good
the
food?
barbecue.
Yeah.
So the Naptown, I don't remember exactly the name of it, but it was the Naptown something. And I saw a guy looking all official, and he had a badge on, and his name was John Bush. And shout out to John Bush, Mr. Bush. I call him every now and then to say thank you for getting us into this. But he gave us a card, and on that card was the website, the KCBS. And he was like, you can eat all the barbecue you want if you go take this class. And that's how you'll learn to become a certified barbecue judge.
Yeah. Now, so that was just a happenstance. Like that wasn't a technique of yours. That wasn't part of your overall scheme of things, right?
No.
You guys are just like,
Not at all.
hey, barbecue competition, be a judge.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense looking backwards.
Sure.
But these guys just bumped into this stuff. They're lucky. So next time you're playing Powerball, let me know. I'm standing behind you.
Yeah, we'll take the advice. That's awesome. So you guys, so that was your first date?
It was a date. We've been dating for a few months, probably.
All right. So tell me, give me the dirt. How'd you run into this guy, and what?
You and your romance.
I have to. I'm a romantic. Tell me how you ran into.
Do you want
him.
her story or my story? There's two versions.
Well, no,
there's two versions.
I think she's gonna give you the truth.
So I was out. I was living in D.C. I was at a local upscale billiards hall called Buffalo Billiards, Washington, D.C.
Okay.
I was out with my roommate. We were headed to a birthday party on a rooftop, and this crowd walked into the room, and I was staring at everybody in the crowd. And it just happened that I believe it was your cousin, took note that I happened to be looking his way.
There you go. So
Good wingman.
There you go. Good.
Yeah,
So-
shout out to Carl. My cousin Carl, yeah.
Yeah, so he went up to the bar, he knew who the bartender was, I knew the bartender. He hooked us up with some drinks, and we went out on a couple of dates, and then didn't see each other for 3 years.
Oh, wow.
That's fantastic. Okay, what's your version?
But then,
Now, but
It's
why,
similar to that.
Was that because of your service to the country at the time? Or
No.
He was out.
You
No,
were
no, no.
just-
She
Okay.
She
I was
was
trying to give you an out there, JP. I was trying to
man.
give you a leg
but
up,
you want
man.
the truth, right? And the truth is
Yeah.
always the best story. So basically what was going on was I was in the automobile industry. When you manage auto dealerships, your days aren't your own. You know, you're there all day, you're there all night.
Sure.
Like you shut it down, you open it up. and she was doing like international public health, so she was always flying to different. It just didn't work for our lives at the time.
Sure.
Gotcha.
If that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
So that's basically why we kind of didn't like. And she lived in DC, and I lived in Southern Maryland, and it was just it was the
tough.
whole thing.
It was tough.
Yeah, but it worked out.
But then 3 years later, out of the blue, I was in the airport coming back from one of those trips, and I got a text from a number I didn't even recognize, but it was familiar. Like I recognized where the number was from and thought it might have been him. And he asked me if I was in DC or if I was in West Africa, which is where I was working, and just happened I had been coming back from West Africa, so.
There you
Got
go.
back together.
Slide dog.
Right. And got back together and been
So
together
you
ever
took a
since.
shot.
There you go. Good.
What made you take that shot? What made you text her that like out of the blue like that?
Oh man, you're asking all the right questions. So a buddy of mine and my friends owned a bar in DC. We used to always go to Porter's down on M Street. It's not there anymore, but so we went down to Porter's, and he would always ask me, "Hey man, what's up with you, man? Like, never have a girl with you? There's nobody." I'm like, "Man, screw these, this whatever."
Too much
And
work.
he's like, "There's nobody." He's like, "Man, there's this one girl." I was like, he's like, "Well, where is she?" I was like, "I don't know. Shit, Porter, what do you want, man? We should call her then." I was like, "You know what? You're probably right." I picked up my phone. Like, it was a Thursday night. I remember it. I didn't usually go into the city on Thursdays.
Yep.
But that Thursday, one of my friends was like, "Hey, man, we should go into the city tonight." We did. And it kind of worked out.
That's great.
Talked
Fantastic.
to her. We went out that weekend. And then I volunteered to help her move into a new place, which it's
I don't know why you picked him.
Right.
It looks like he listens to the piano by himself.
No. Hey, I came there with guys from the work that work with me.
Right,
So
right.
they're like, "Yeah, boss, we go help you this weekend."
Yeah.
Okay.
Many hands make light
Yeah,
work.
hey, I took him with me.
Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, man. So we got her moved in, and she
All
was
right,
like,
I'm
"I owe you
satisfied.
dinner."
That's
man.
great.
She's like, "I
That's
owe
a
you
great
dinner."
story.
That's
Love
how it
story.
started,
Right.
man.
Okay.
Thank you so
Right
much
on.
for sharing that.
Made dinner.
So when did you guys start with the competition team? Like, when did that all happen for you guys? Because you started in backyard, right?
It was a concept in 2015.
Okay.
She was finishing her master's at BC up here. Actually, she's finishing her grad school at BC remotely. And one of the projects, she had to come up with a business idea.
Okay.
So we were like, "Oh, we're judging barbecue, and maybe one day we'll like turn into a barbecue business," because I could do a little grilling. I didn't really know what being a pitmaster was all about, but I knew how to grill. And we're like, well, we'd have to come up with a name. And the name that we came up with was, we really like bourbon. We're like doing the bourbon trail and all this stuff. So
Nice.
he's like, bourbon. We love blues. It's like the best live music. So bourbon and blues, barbecue. And like that was the concept. And that's the concept she did the paper on. And
Nice.
she turned it in. And we just kept the name.
Yeah.
You know, she had to get a website and Facebook and like all that stuff. So we had the URL, we had all the stuff.
Oh, that's
And we just
fantastic.
kind of held on to it, not knowing that we would actually ever do anything.
Yeah.
So it kind of worked out.
That's fantastic. And then, so you spent, you had mentioned to me that it didn't take you long in backyard competitions, huh? You kind of outpaced that kind of quick?
First 6 months were rough, my friend.
Yeah.
The first
Yeah,
six
you
months were
learn,
rough.
right?
It was a steep learning curve.
What do you guys cook on?
At the time, I was cooking on WSMs,
Okay.
which are, the Weber Smoky Mountains.
Yep.
And one of the best pits I ever owned.
Yep.
If I could travel around with them without them getting all,
Tangled up.
you got it. I would still be cooking on them.
Yeah.
But I'm cooking on cans now, cotton gins.
Okay.
Shout out to Matt in Michigan. The cotton gins have been great for me.
All right.
Really like the idea of the front door and the different things that you can do with them. All the cans have their sweet spots, things that you like about them and things that you wish you could change. The cotton gin probably had the bulk of what I was looking for as far as the positives.
Okay.
And but yeah, that's what we're cooking on now, man. We're cooking on
Cotton gins.
on cotton gins.
All right, cool. How many you run? You got
I
four?
run 3,
Yep.
and I have a 30-gallon Gateway
Okay.
that's like the emergency.
Yeah, the backup.
Just in case, like
the
I need
backup to your
another
backup
one,
kit.
right?
Yeah.
Just in case I need another one, or got to loan one to a friend or something like that.
Sure.
Because that's going to happen.
It does happen.
Yeah.
You know, people fly into places and I'm there and they need something to cook on, so I loan them. You know, I also have a Bullseye, which is a RecTech product
Okay.
that we
Not
don't
familiar
use in
with that.
competition.
Yeah.
It's a pellet smoker.
Okay.
Just imagine a Weber kettle grill that has pellets on
Pellets on it.
and it can
Okay.
get extremely hot. Like you can get it up to 700-800 degrees.
Wow, really?
Yeah, oh yeah. I had it up to like 800 and something this past weekend when we were cooking steak at
Really?
the steak competition.
Yeah, you said you were down there.
I don't use it in competition, but it's the only thing that I have that'll get
Right.
hot enough to cook steaks on in a competition mode. So
Yeah. So now you mentioned you're on the road all year. You're doing, you say you did 20 already? We're like at the half year mark and you got about 20 done.
Yeah,
And
20,
there are
25.
some doubles in there too? Are they all
A couple.
20 singles or do you do some doubles in there too?
New York.
there's some doubles.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't like doubles.
No.
I don't. And I
No.
should like them because
Yeah.
I always do better day two.
Yeah.
But man, they're hard on you.
There's some, yeah. No,
These
there
guys
are-
did this just like knockout doubles and they just pretty much do doubles.
Yeah.
God bless them.
There are guys that do a double and like do one, get in a truck, travel, and do another one the next day somewhere else, right? That's crazy.
We've done that. Rolling doubles is what it's called.
Okay.
Rolling doubles.
Rolling double, yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, we've done a rolling double. We did a rolling double once, and Frank just brought it up.
Well,
shout
take me
out to
through
Red
your last-
Smoke.
Your last 2 weeks, take me through that because you did
The last 2 weeks?
Yeah, because you did a competition, a steak, and then another competition, didn't you?
That was in the same location.
Okay.
The steak
okay. All right, that
competition
makes sense.
was one day.
Yep.
And then the KCBS barbecue competition was the next day.
So two different competitions in the same
Location.
location. Okay. Nice.
So you guys are coming out of backyard. You've done what you need to do there. There's nothing left for you to do in there. You decide to jump up weight classes. I'll say weight classes because I'm a jock. What was your eye-opening experience when you first stepped up into the new?
So the expectation was totally different than the realization.
Okay.
So here's
All right,
what
good. That's what I want to hear.
So
that
the
sounds good.
expectation was, oh man, we're just gonna keep on crushing it and like keep on doing our thing. But like
Yeah.
I told you off camera, the minor leagues and college is not the same as the major leagues
Sure.
in the NFL. The game's a lot quicker, a lot faster. There's a smaller margin for error
Yep.
in the Masters series or in the pro division. I mean, you have to be like spot on every week, man. You've got to be ready. It's game time and no one else is slipping. Like everyone's bringing their A game. And you notice really quick, like I told you, when you hear the quarterbacks who left college and was like really good in college and they're like, oh my God, the game is so fast. It's exactly what I felt like the first 2 years when we got into Masters.
Everybody's
and now
top level.
Now the game's slowing down.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Now the game's
Yeah,
slowing
sure,
down to us
sure.
and we're seeing the smaller things that we can do, just like every little, you just like perfect it a little.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, what I've learned talking to folks like you is that you can't change too many things at the same time, right? You got to tweak one thing. So you need sometimes 100, 150 cooks just to be good, right? Like to get your first, like a lot of people have told me, I didn't get my first calls till I was 200 cooks in, and I'm like, God, that seems like, even if you're doing 20, 40 a year, that's years of work, that you got to get through. And you guys are doing it even a little bit more difficult because New England, right? It's New England. People buy their meats at the same place. They wake up in their own house. They trim out their meats. They load their freezers. They clean their grills, and they go. You guys are doing that on the road every week. So you got to be buying meats at different places at different times. You got to be storing them differently, right? I mean, that's going to be a lot more challenging.
Yeah,
the way you're doing it.
I figured out some of those logistics, which I'm not going to share with you on camera.
Okay.
But
That's fair.
No, I'm
not
messing
looking
with.
for
I'm messing with.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
reality.
okay.
The reality is, man. Like I told you, I have 3 freezers, so I stock up a few times a year, and then we run off of that.
Okay, gotcha.
Chicken, of course, is going to be fresh, so we don't do too much of the freezing chicken. Like
Yeah.
we try to keep it as fresh as possible. But there's a learning curve to it. I would tell you that from the inside looking out, the toughest part of what we do is actually going in the different regions, because what happens is we don't like to admit it, but different regions have different flavor profiles.
Right.
And we're trying to find or perfect a profile that doesn't offend anyone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
that you can take everywhere and get calls.
As
on.
drastic as like sauce, no sauce? Is that what you mean? Or do you mean
Or just
No,
like
no, no,
Carolina
no.
versus
No.
Texas.
How sweet can you make it?
Okay.
Okay.
How much can you get away with? How savory can you make it? How
Right.
much pepper? Like Colleen said, how much pepper you can put in it? You know, because heat doesn't play everywhere.
Yep.
You know, you just again flavor.
So you guys
profiles.
telling me that if you're doing a competition in East Carolina, you're thinking about what you should be tweaking things for that region,
No.
or you're
What I'm
just looking
telling
at
you
middle
is
of the road?
that my profile,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get it as close to middle of the road as possible.
Okay.
Whereas
Okay, now
I
it's-
may
yeah.
have been cooking, you know, really far to the left, and we're gonna call that the sweet side.
Yep.
And then I would go into Texas and cook, and then I would bring up the heat when I hit Texas and New Mexico and California,
Sure.
right? And then what I found is it's too inconsistent to try to chase these flavor profiles.
Better off getting your stuff right and just taking it where you go.
Exactly.
Taking it with you consistently to
Exactly.
each competition.
Yep.
I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kind of what we were talking about before between different sanctions where you do either tasting food on the bone or you're tasting food off a fork can be a different cook time too, right? And different
Exactly.
tenderness, right? Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool. That's interesting. Now am I right to say your first leg up in competition was chicken? Is that because that's what when you look up your profile, it says chicken.
Chicken
180.
masters.
You had a few 180s in chicken, right?
Yes.
And talk about a protein that could be all over the board, right? How you nailing 180s?
Well, I used to struggle in chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Like I told you, when I was in the backyard, my first 6 months were rough. And I ran into a guy, Chris from Taste of Grace. Shout out to Chris. He became my mentor, man. I don't know why this guy liked me or why he took me under his wing,
Okay.
but he just did. And he showed me what he did to get second place at the
Yeah.
American Royal in
Oh,
chicken.
wow.
And I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, just keep it under your hat. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay. And
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I kept it under my hat. And throughout the years, I've changed some things and some profiles and such.
Yeah.
But the basis of what I do came from that class that he gave me. And the basis of what I believe he did, from what I recall that he told me, actually came from Loot and Booty, my man Sterling out in Arizona.
Yep.
So yeah, so that's basically what happens in this business. Like people take other people under their wing,
Sure.
they
You
show
collect
them stuff, they
information,
teach
sure.
them stuff, and then you find someone else that's willing to help you, and you can either take it or not take it. And so far, I've been smart
that's a
enough
great
to
point.
take it.
Who are you mentoring?
Yeah.
Whoever,
Yeah. Whoever asks, right?
If anyone asks, I'm willing to help.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a great attitude. And we talked about this inside a little bit, and I was talking about the competitive edge and all that. But everywhere we go when we talk about barbecue with people, and they all so helpful,
Oh yeah.
like so willing. We haven't from Texas to Carolina to where we've been. Maybe we ran into two
snobby people.
two jackasses. Maybe out of all the people we ran, like two. Like
Yeah. No.
it's just amazing,
Yeah,
and I think that's the attraction with barbecue, though, isn't it? It's like you said, it's a community,
Right.
and you guys know
If the
each
rest
other
of
and all that.
if the real world was like barbecue,
Right.
it'd be a perfect place.
Sure would.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
no,
everybody gets along. You don't
That's
know
true.
what their politics are. You don't know
Yep.
what their religion is. Like because it
Doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter.
Doesn't matter.
Because we're all all
Yep.
barbecue people, and that's your brother. It's your
Yep.
barbecue brother. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we
fantastic.
fell in love. We started this thing. We're like, hey, we're gonna drive around the country, eat barbecue. He was like, I'm in. Where do I sign? All right. Then we started going to competitions and meeting these folks, and
Yeah.
it's like, have you ever met nicer people? We both work in retail every day, so that market, complete opposite of barbecue. There could be some jerks and that stuff, but barbecue is just amazing.
Plus, we're
right?
from Rhode Island, and nobody says hi to each other on the street.
Right. Isn't that
90% of
weird?
the time.
What is that?
You go down south, and everybody's like, "Hey, how you doing?" Well, I am doing okay. We had a great day yesterday. They give you the whole.
You walk up to some guy at the gas station, like, "Hey, how you doing?" They're like, "Do I know you?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Love
in cooking chicken, do you find a lot of differences in the competitions? Like there's half chickens compared to chicken thighs, or or like what do you cook in this? What's chicken at CBA?
So I'll give you a quick evolution of chicken in my own mind. So when we first got into judging in 2010, all I saw was thighs.
Yeah.
Right, Colleen?
100%.
100%. And with the boxes, all we saw was parsley. Right?
Yep.
All we saw was parsley.
Yeah.
The evolution of barbecue has gone to you can put anything green in the box now for KCBS, right? The evolution of the chicken has gone to you need to produce chicken. So pork, you can produce any type of pork. Back in the day, it was you had to have, I believe it was a 4 pound,
4 pounds of meat,
at least 4 pounds of meat. Now you can just cook a money muscle.
right?
You know, and it's just a different game. Like back in the day, they cooked a whole brisket low and slow overnight.
Yep.
Now we're just taking a point and cooking it in 4 or 5 hours. You know, hot and fast.
Yep.
The game has changed, man.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, the first time I went to Texas, I did not cook a half chicken. It was I think the first time I cooked a half chicken, I cooked an outlaw in Texas. That's a governing body. In Texas.
Yeah, they have a bunch.
They require you to cook a half chicken. So I cooked a half chicken. Turned out pretty good.
Okay.
So the tricky part of cooking a half chicken is to get the breast done and not dried out. And having that
Very
dark
tricky.
meat still being done.
Keep everything juicy at the same time. Because you know that, I always complain, how come nobody does chicken breasts? Yeah, because they dry out so fast.
So fast.
That's a
They
nice
can dry out just on the walk-in. You know what I mean? For sure.
Colleen,
Yeah.
where do you fit in this dynamic?
Yeah.
And we're listening to JP, you know, expound on his heroics and all the good things. Where do you fit in this dynamic? Obviously, it's got to be a team effort, or it wouldn't work.
Everything's a team effort. I don't do the cook on Saturday, but I do the chicken, the first leg of the chicken trim. So, you know, I'll trim the chicken. I do brines, injections. I do a lot of prep work and cleanup,
which is invaluable
on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
So I try to keep everything moving smoothly throughout the cook. And then if there are any ancillary competitions, I'm always in for a dessert.
Yeah.
I've got a great cheesecake. I've got a great key lime pie. I've got
So you got some weapons there.
Dessert. So
Nice.
So I try to get in on the ancillaries whenever I can.
Okay.
That's awesome.
She's being modest.
All right.
She's being modest.
She's being modest.
All right, give us the truth.
Yeah, the hardest part of this job is keeping me keeping me grounded. Like that's the hardest part of this. Like keeping me going and like moving
keeping you on the
forward.
rails.
Right. And then she's my taster. Like I don't eat all this stuff.
Is there so you know when it's it?
I know.
You know, right?
Yeah.
We talked about this before, and usually it's the wives of the females in the group. Like they'll just tell you that's it. That's a winner. Go or. Not today. You're not getting a call today, you know?
Yeah. So
you can be excitable. Is that what you're telling me?
Say that again.
You can be excitable when you're cooking. You can get on and off rails.
100%.
I think I heard something about you have a barbecue squeal. Is that right?
Oh, you know what time it is. You know what time it is. Barbecue! Let's go.
I almost got up and came running.
That's it. That's great. That's great. If you can't bring passion to something, anything, especially barbecue, then why are you doing it, right? That's great.
Man.
That's great.
We bring it
fun.
every weekend.
Yeah.
We bring it every weekend. We're not just out here to compete.
Mm-hmm.
We're actually out to have fun. And like you said before, like the camaraderie, it's a place to have fun, man.
Right. It drives it.
Yeah.
It absolutely drives it. Yeah.
It's a place to have fun.
So Colleen, you double dip into, you run all your social media side of this thing, where you're more the logistics guy, right? I think, and that's how you split up the back end work to this stuff. Yeah.
So I do a lot of the photos. I do a lot of the posts. I put him in charge of all the comments. So, you know, he's
awesome.
You're actually talking to him most of the time in the comments.
So when I'm commenting and I say something, you can't blame Colleen.
That's you.
Yeah,
okay.
that's her.
Remember that. It's this guy.
Yeah, it's huge. We were talking to Brandon Hurtado this week, and he started off as a digital marketing guy before he got into barbecue restaurants. And, so I asked him how that affects him, because it seems like in barbecue, they're passionate people like you that cook food and then learn all that other stuff secondary, right, as needed. And And then there are people that are digital marketers have a different angle on stuff. But yeah, it could be a lot of work. We're still figuring it out. We're 2 years in, we have no clue.
We're just like dipping our toe into
we're still
what he
bumping into
said,
walls.
Yeah, the marketing and all that
It's
sort of
great.
stuff.
It's
Okay,
great.
so you're in the big leagues now. Okay, you've left backyard barbecue behind. You've started going. Is there anybody you guys have met that you really were like, wow, I can't believe I'm like cooking with this guy in this competition or this team? Is there anybody you had where you had kind of like
who's your mentor?
like
Chris was my mentor, but the first time that I was like, oh my God, that's this guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably Bill Gillespie.
Okay.
It was probably
Okay.
Bill Gillespie, which
Yeah,
you guys know, being from the Northeast.
Well, we call him our goat because
Man. Like, it was Bill
I feel like
Gillespie.
we own a part of Bill, right? Like we have a brick in that foundation. But it's amazing how many people he knows and he affects, and everybody
Always
He's
nice.
wrote a few books.
Always nice.
Yeah,
Yep.
he is.
Always nice.
We were just at what was the one we were just at with him?
Bristol Bash, the
All
Bristol
right.
Barbecue
So
Bash.
listen, I'll tell you a quick story. We go up
Yeah.
and talk to Bill, and he's cooking he's cooking sausages.
Our team is running in circles, right? Other teams are okay, but they're working. Bill's sitting back.
Yeah, I'm cooking some
sausage.
shitties and some sausage I got at the market.
for lunch. You know what I mean?
Laughing.
Having and he said it. He walked away. He's like, he's way too cool for this competition right now. He's going to win it all.
Yeah.
And I think
I was like, this guy is
I don't
too
know if
happy.
he
I'd be
GC'd or
worried.
GC'd that, but
and he
yeah.
did. He killed it. He won it.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a Bill Gillespie story for you.
All right,
Couple,
all right.
couple of weeks ago. So we go up to New York to Jeremy's comp, and it's like the big one. It's a 2-day event.
Yeah.
It's BWC each day, so you can qualify for the Barbecue World Cup. Bill gets his first call. I said, Bill, don't start that shit. He gets his first call. And then he gets another call. And he gets another call. I'm like, man, this guy, right?
Yeah.
Comes in third. Great cook, right?
Yeah.
Great cook. We're walking back. His wife turns to him and she goes, you need to do better. I was like, oh my God.
Sean's turning up the
Yeah,
heat.
she told us, she was like, you need to do better.
He's not going to cut it.
God. She just like, totally just told him he needs to do
And-
better. He
yeah.
got third. There's like 70 teams on it. He just got third. Like, holy smokes.
That's
So
amazing.
what does Bill do the next day? He wins.
Yeah, he does better. He does better.
He wins.
That's great. Now, Bill,
They always know what you need, right?
Yep.
He needed that little nudge. Just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
Fantastic.
he's great. And then Fire at the End of the Day also.
oh yeah.
Big New
Those
England
guys are
success
good.
story. They do. So you guys, do you chase any team of the year stuff, or how do you manage that? Is that important to you guys?
Yeah, I would like to win chicken, but Brad Leininger won't let me. I was first for a long time this year. And
Yeah.
once he
Shout out to
passed
Brad.
me- yeah, shout out to Brad, right? And yeah, man, I just want to win chicken. That's it. That's all I want to do is win chicken. If I win chicken, and Reagan will make that. You guys know Reagan?
No.
Okay, he's out of Texas, man. They call him barefoot because he never wears shoes.
Okay.
Like, I don't care how hot the ground is, how cold the ground is, he's not wearing shoes, bro. And he was a great chicken cook himself. And he used to win Team of the Year chicken. And anytime someone wins Team of the Year chicken, he gets a stuffed chicken and puts truck nuts on the back of it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes, I do.
Yeah, he gets
That hang from the bumper.
Look, man, I told him I want one of those. He's like, gotta win chicken. And you know what he told? We're in Texas, like 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago? And he told me, he's like, but Brad, I was number one at the time. And he's like, Brad told me that he was gonna win chicken.
Yeah.
I was like, shit. He goes, you know what that means? I was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna be fighting all season to try to win chicken. Like, he goes, nah, Brad's gonna win chicken. So what am I gonna do, man? Yeah.
So where are you right now? Do you know where you are?
Second.
Second?
Yeah.
Behind Brad.
Okay.
Behind Brad.
Yep.
It's like,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
man. But that's what we're chasing for Team of the Year. I would really, really like to win chicken.
All right.
So tell me, obviously your chicken is fantastic. Tell me about some of the other stuff you do, and
So let's go to the other side of the
Yeah, go ahead.
spectrum. Where do you? No, we're just going
Yeah, okay.
following your lead.
Yeah.
Where do you struggle? Like, what meats that you struggle with?
I didn't want to use that word, but yes.
Struggle.
If you had asked
Your
me
pacemaker.
a couple of months ago, I would have said 100% brisket.
Yeah.
I've made some changes to my brisket recipe,
Yep.
and they seem to be liking it. We like it more.
Yep.
We just got to get more consistent with it. But to answer the question, right now
It
it's
was
pork.
brisket.
Right now it's pork. It's
really?
yeah, brisket. we've got a
What do you put
pretty
in the
good
box?
handle.
You doing money muscle and some shred, or what do you put in the box?
Man, I've tried all kinds of stuff.
You did everything.
As my man Sid said, I threw a little bit of this at it, I threw a little bit of that at it. Yeah, man.
That's
we try
great.
a little bit of everything.
So do you have a without giving any secrets? Do you have a an idea of how you're going to play Rhode Island competition this weekend? You got any special?
Texas Tender.
Yeah,
Let me do that again. Texas Tender. It's like, yeah, man, we're going Texas Tender. The last time I cooked in Texas, I did not do that, and I know we're in Rhode Island, but it's a Texas competition,
sure.
and the way that it's sanctioned, I need to cook Texas Tender this weekend. So that's the plan.
Good.
I mean, that's one of the hugest aspects, getting that tenderness right.
Sure.
Sure. And that makes or breaks you, doesn't it? I mean, if your meat's that, the right tenderness.
Half the time when they say they don't like the taste, it's not the taste, it's your tenderness that's off.
Yep.
Yep. It's tough or it's mushy or whatever. Yep.
Right.
Got it.
All right. So, all right. Well, let's talk a little bit more about you. What's next for Bourbon Blues and Barbecue? You guys
More travel.
More traveling.
More traveling. We're going to Michigan, trying to go get a cherry.
All right.
They have so just to give you guys more insight to what competition barbecue is all about.
Yes.
Sometimes people get it twisted. They think it's all about the money or it's all about the prestige. Man, I'm going to tell you, if you're doing a barbecue competition, if you're an organizer, you want to get people to your competition, do something special for your awards. Because we are some award chasing fools in competition barbecue, and they have cherries that they're doing at this one in Michigan that we're going to.
Barbecue Bus had the apples.
Yeah, what were you going to say? Where
The
did you get
apples,
Where's that from?
that's another one.
Yeah.
That's in Murfreesboro. We're going back there this year.
Okay.
Because, it's stuff that you won't be able to buy in the store.
Sure.
And you're going to get it.
Yeah.
And it's going to look beautiful sitting on something, in your house or whatever. It just,
Yeah, it was Matt. Matt introduced us to that because he does his Triple Crown. He does a buckle, a belt buckle and stuff.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Belt buckles are big, I guess.
Belt buckles are cool. That's a Texas thing.
Yeah.
I know one of the guys who you had on had like a WWE.
Ric Flair.
I want one of
Ric
those.
Flair
I
thing.
want one of those.
He
What'd
was
you
had it
say?
hanging on the wall.
Yeah,
I
Ric
want
Flair.
one of those, man.
That was really cool. So along those lines, what's your favorite competition to go to? What do you really love? Look forward to
Lakeland Pig Fest. Shout out to
Lakeland
Tiffany
Pig
and
Fest.
all my peoples down in Lakeland, Florida.
Yeah.
Tiffany, you heard it.
That's
We're
right.
going. When Chad talked us up.
Oh, we're going again.
Well, it's January 18th.
Oh yeah, we're going.
We had, February we had like some 40-something inches of snow.
They don't have that in Lakeland.
We're
No, they
going,
don't.
They don't.
Strangely enough, they don't.
We're going to Lakeland this year. We're taking the trip.
All right.
For sure.
Oh, Lakeland is special because of the size of it and just the way that they treat you, man. Like
That's
like
the
I said,
bottom line.
so you have some competitions that they kind of host, but they don't really host.
Yeah.
You know how when you were a single guy and you would host a party for you and your buddies,
Yeah.
and then you got married, and then your wife would host a party for friends in the neighborhood. You know the difference between
The same
two?
things didn't go on at those parties for some reason.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
Strangely different.
When you go to Lakeland, it's been organized by, your wife and some people who know what they're doing.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
everything's going to be the way it's supposed to be.
How many teams are there?
Lakeland usually has somewhere between 70 and 100 plus teams.
That's
You're
great.
getting
just
into like
depends on the-
KCBS championship numbers. up
Yeah,
there.
I mean, it's the middle of winter for everybody, and it's an excuse to come to Florida and get
Sure.
warm.
Yep.
So, it just
it's an easy
depends.
sell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that hard. It's not that. It's not. So, Colleen, tell them about your favorite comp. That's no longer a comp.
Uh-oh.
Sad. So Jiggy with the Piggy was in North Carolina. We went,
Jiggy with the piggy.
Jiggy with the piggy. That's a
Yeah.
great name.
and
I don't know
it
what it
was a
is, but I
great
wanna go.
comp. It was right downtown.
Kannapolis.
In Kannapolis, North Carolina. And they had set up the comp as a fundraiser for the community. And for years, maybe 10 or 12 years, they probably had the comp. We went to it the last 2 years that they had it. First as a backyard team where it was a double, and we won GC both days. So
Well,
whoa.
and
I can see why it's your favorite.
And I won dessert.
And she won both dessert competitions.
Dessert.
You crushed
And I
it.
won both of
You
those.
crushed
So
it.
we had a great time.
That's fantastic.
No fighting on the way home from that one.
No, that was a great trip. But town took a turn. They wanted to go in a different direction and find different ways to raise money for the community. And it takes a lot of effort to put on a really good competition, right?
Yeah, I mean, your staff, I mean, for some of these bigger competitions must be...
But I think I found a new favorite, which is out in Idaho. So we had to drive out to Idaho this year for Steve McClellan's comp, Smoking Wigs.
Shout out to Steve.
Smoking Wigs.
Amazing competition.
Yeah.
And he does all
Did you
the
win everything there
things.
too?
Surprisingly, we didn't win much, but we won a lot. It was strange.
We
this year we went out. They had a People's Choice. It was a 2-hour. You vented the public.
Yep.
And then the public voted on their favorites. The prizes were significant, and we ended up second place. So we won second place in People's Choice. We have a fun thing called the Wild Child. You guys know about Wild Child?
Yes.
Nope, I don't.
All right, tell Chip.
Yeah. Do you want? I think you should tell the Wild Child.
So Wild Child came up. There was a Pig and Whiskey. It was an old school. I say old school, but he's only not been cooking for like a year or so. Anyway, shout out to Brent and OG Ben and my man. So these guys used to cook together. Now they moved. One got married, moved to like the Midwest, started OG Bannon's team, and Brent was like still living in Philly, so he still cooked under Pig and Whiskey. Anyways, long story short, they were like, man, if you finish right out of the money, meaning like 11th or whatever, 10th gets paid, 11th doesn't, kind of sucks because you were right there and sometimes you tie. So they came up with this idea of like going around and collecting $20 from each team that wanted to get in on this Wild Child thing for 11th. And sometimes Wild Child is bigger than the first place person.
What a great idea.
Right? It was a great idea. So everyone gets excited to, even though you didn't get your name called, they're like, whoa, what was Wild Child?
What's Wild Child?
We're still in the Wild Child running. That's
great. You can have 30, 40 teams. That's $800.
Keeps everybody interested.
I will always be in Wild Child because I've won Wild Child. What do you say, babe? We've won Wild Child at least, what, 6 times?
Yeah.
Probably 6 times, and every time is like 600 or more. So like I'm in for Wild Child because I'm still with the house money. You know what I mean? I'm still paying with the house money for Wild Child.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah,
so
and it's fun.
We went out to Smoking Wings, and between the People's Choice and we winning Wild Child for our ribs, you know, it made the trip worth it. It was,
Is that, have you already done that this year, or is that coming up?
That was a couple weeks ago.
Weeks ago? Okay, cool. Well, this is absolutely great. Thanks for coming down to the studio. I was explaining to you, we do so many, the quality people we want to talk to, like you folks, we got to do it on the tube, unfortunately. We just can't get everybody down, into New England to come see us. So thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
And we absolutely wish you the best. I think you're going to have a blast. I think the weather's going to hold out great for you.
Yeah.
As long as we don't go, and we are going because we're judging. But
we bring rain wherever we go. It's just the way it is.
So we're sorry. If it rains on Sunday, it's us. Don't worry about it. All right, folks. Well, thanks for being here another week. And we want to appreciate you for all the great publicity you've been giving us. We love it. So, keep clicking, keep sharing. And we'll catch you next week.
Yeah. I mean, we wouldn't have these great guests if it wasn't for you guys out there supporting us. It just wouldn't be happening. So all this is due to your support. So once again, thank you. Have a good weekend.
Adios.
I don't know about the great guest part.
Oh, no. You're kidding. You're awesome. Go eat some barbecue.
Pull up a chair. We're cutting through the smoke. Talking with the people every pitmaster knows. From backyard heroes to the Hall of Fame, everybody's welcome when they're earned.